Hey, welcome to another episode of the Evolved Dad Shortcast. I just finished with a 45-minute journaling session. I was actually pretty surprised how long I actually was able to journal for. Felt like I could write for who knows how much longer. Because to be honest, I don't usually have that much time. Usually I'll get maybe like a few minutes here or there, but nothing really much. And it got me thinking, journaling has this power to take your ideas, your thoughts, your emotions, and somehow magically bring them onto paper. And somehow it transfers that pain, those feelings over to the paper. You don't carry that weight anymore. It's something I've actually in different ways, shapes and forms I've given over to a few of my kids so far, my older kids, who are a little bit more ready for it. One of them just random brain dumping for a certain amount of time, and the other one with a little bit more of a focus. The reason that I'm bringing this up now is I was thinking through it, and when I was journaling, I didn't have any specific focus. I just let all my thoughts go onto the paper, even my thoughts of what I was thinking at random points in time, how my handwriting changed when I wrote for a while. And then I started thinking, well, why is that? Is that because my hand was cramping up? Is it because the position that I'm sitting in? I don't know. And then I got back to what I was writing. And I was thinking that as a father, becoming a dad is really like journaling. It's taking those ideas and letting the thoughts flow. Whatever is going on in your head, the thought of, am I showing up as a better father for my kids? Am I showing up as a good husband for my wife? And then really taking those ideas, dissecting them, and working with them. Thinking about, you know, maybe if I were to go and play a game with my kids, that would strengthen our bond. Maybe if I were to write a short little note for my wife and put it on the counter that she keeps her phone on, maybe that would strengthen our bond. Little things like that. And recognizing our thoughts. I know I feel like I'm getting a little bit into the realms of like psychology over here. The reality is, I have absolutely no idea if there's any basis for this stuff. It's things that I know that work for me. This is my journaling session with you. I don't do this just to look at myself in the camera because it does get to be uncomfortable. But these are ideas that I feel are important to pass along. These are ideas that help me and that I know that can help and have helped other people. So back to journaling and our thought process. So taking those ideas that come to you at random, finding correlation between different ideas, different things, thinking through different parables for life, like looking outside in the winter and seeing how the trees are covered in snow, but yet just months later or months earlier, they had leaves on them. Understanding that they have to shed their leaves because otherwise they'll be too heavy and the branches will break because of the snow. Realizing that for us, that yeah, sometimes you got to let things go to be able to survive that next winter, only to come back and to bloom again. So letting our minds wander, thinking different things. Like, for example, I have these signs behind me over here, wall clings that I'm very into. It's this one over here. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. It's not to be all woo woo and psychological and all that. No, it's just the reality of life. Find that people get so caught up in saying, oh, it's so psychological. Just think. Just take your time and think. Think through an idea. Don't be afraid to approach ideas differently. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. That yes, when it's raining, look for a rainbow. When times get tough and really hard, and it feels like everything's just raining on your parade, look for that rainbow. Look for that silver lining. And then over here, you never fail until you stop trying. Realize that. Keep trying. You didn't fail yet. No matter what your age is, no matter how old your kids are, there's a chance to change certain things. Don't just throw in the towel. And realizing that the sayings are not what's important. It's not important to go around spewing sayings. It's important to understand the underlying concepts. There's another saying that irked me for years. Well, actually, didn't irk me for years. That's the truth. It didn't irk me for many years until it started irking me, which is it is what it is. And once I really understood what was happening, when you say it is what it is, in most contexts, it's sort of like throwing in the towel. Until one day I found the missing part, but it will become what you make of it. So, yes, recognizing the facts are it is what it is. I'm a dad, however old I am, my kids are however old they are, and I've shown up as a father, not really putting my all into it up until now. Okay, let's own that. Let's move forward. Next step, it will become what I make of it. You have the ability now to transform that. You have the ability to take whatever you have in life now, whatever you've learned, whatever you've lost, whatever has happened to you. You are the person. You are the person that has gone through all these experiences, who has done all these things, whatever it is. Make that into one pile and see what you could take from it to grow stronger from it. But don't hold on to it and live in the past. Don't look back at the past and dwell on it, because we can only have a singular focus. There's this concept that we can multitask. And per my understanding, and I would say definitely true for myself, there is no such thing as multitasking. It's task switching. We switch between tasks at a high speed. And the more efficient you become at task switching, the less productive you actually are, because you're not giving your full attention to one thing. Which means, in turn, that we can only focus and talk about one thing at one time. So if that's the case, we have a choice moving forward. You can look back, behind you, or you can look forward. Which way are you going? You want to dwell on the past? You're going to sit there and you're going to cry about everything that happened? Yeah, it sucks. But now what? You can't do anything more about it. But if you focus on moving forward and growing, that's where you're going to be able to have those gains. Someone mentioned to me the other day about how I don't show my family on social media. Why should we believe you? And it hit me for a second. Maybe I should. Maybe people are not going to believe me. And I took a step back. No, I'm not showing my family on social media. That's a decision that I've made. And it has nothing to do with my family. It's the concepts. I'm not here saying anything specific about that it has to be like this or it has to be like that. It's concepts. It's ideas. And like I often say, listen but don't listen. Listen to what I'm saying. If it doesn't serve you, don't take it. But if it does serve you, it can literally change your life. So, back to the idea of journaling. if you could take your day to day and journal your life, write down all the thoughts, pay attention to those thoughts, get rid of the thoughts that don't make a difference. And when you're in pain, put them on paper. When you feel unsure about something, put it on paper. And it brings a somewhat of a level, actually a pretty amazing level of clarity. When you're able to actually sit there and you have to formulate your thoughts, understand your thoughts so that you can write them down on paper because you feel something, but you're not sure what it is. It's very powerful. And you also have a tremendous power when you take those thoughts and those ideas that are in your head, and even without journaling, maybe you're not into that or you're not up to it, whatever it may be. Take those ideas and bring them forward to changing who you are, recognizing that this is what I'm thinking now. That's what I want to encourage you to do this week. Take the time to journal if you're willing to do that. Sit down, even for just 5 minutes a day, and write. And if you're not up to that, that's fine. But listen to your thoughts. You're going to have all those nagging thoughts going across the board. Sometimes you have to control them in a way where you have to just stop and let your thoughts go. And other times you have to take that thought and you have to act on it. And it's a challenge. It's something that takes time, but it's something that you can do. And remember to keep leaning forward. Keep falling forward. Keep working towards a better future. Learn from the past and build a better future. As always, I want to thank you for spending your time with me today. This is Jonathan, the Evolved Dad, signing off.